We used to treat mangroves really badly in Australia and probably all over the world. We used to regard them as wastelands, mozzie-infested wastelands. We now have learnt a lot more about them and no longer treat them like that. I'm Simon Friedman and I'm an environmental scientist. I'm also a kayak guide and a surf coach. The Brunswick River, it's a beautiful little river. The tides have a major impact on it. Rainfall coming in also has a major impact. It's a very dynamic system that's always changing. And that's why the fishermen very seldom will go to the same place day after day after day to fish, because the conditions are different and the fish have either moved upriver or downriver. And if you're a fisherman, well, you've got to think like a fish. Two main mangroves that we see on the Brunswick River are the grey mangrove, which is your tall, big one, and we often see the small river mangrove too. The roots of mangroves are called eumetophores, and that's the fancy scientific name for eumetophores, the breathing roots. So the breathing roots do a really good job of filtering out that salt water. What the plant takes up is basically fresh water, little bit of salt in it, puts that little bit of salt in its old leaves and drops those leaves. And those leaves are eaten by crabs, prawns, fish, all of that. And they're actually the start of the food chain. It's actually turning sunlight into fish food, if you like. And mangroves actually create land. What they do is all their fine network of roots, and when we get a flood, a lot of the river silt gets trapped all around those roots, and so therefore they stabilise the riverbanks, and a lot of mangroves actually create land. They're very, very scenically beautiful, and we're so fortunate that it's got a lot of its vegetation intact on the riverbanks and lots of history there and lots of environment. It's great.